of the American nightmare in grief, in loss. And as much as I found my way through the care providing world, it was this world that started all over again. Another whole set of mysteries. Everything I'd learned as a care provider didn't work again. I had to start from scratch all over again. And some of you work with people before death. You work with them as they are becoming part of the elder population. Some of you work with people who are debilitated by illness, by disease, by injury. Some of them are temporarily incapacitated, and some of them are going to be permanently incapacitated. Some of us are working with our own family members, and some of us are paid to do this. And we work with people who become like members of our family to us. But let's start out this morning looking at ourselves. What brings you to this field? What do you want out of it? What do you get out of it? And what do you think people expect of you? So that seems to be a good place to start. Who are you? As a care provider, who are you? And what brings you here? And more importantly, what keeps you here? So what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to open your packet of information, and the very first page in that packet, after all of the other information and stuff, is a sheet of paper marked expectations. And that's where we're going to start this morning. It's the best place to start. Expectations. And I'd like you to do this with me a little bit. If you want to write down your answers, that's fine. If not, just keep a couple in your head. I won't ask you to think of any more than 3, because I can't keep any more than 3 things in my head at any one time anyway. But let's look at that very first question. It asks you to think about some expectations that you have of yourself as a human being. No labels, no titles, no roles that you have to play. You're just you. What kinds of things do you expect of yourself? See if you can think of 3. They could be great and grand, like I expect to make a difference in the world, or they could be as simple as, oh man, I hope I don't burp today. Whatever you want. What do you expect of yourself? See if you can write down 3. You don't have to write down big sentences, just write down a word or 2. If you can't think of anything, copy off your neighbor. I mean, we're here to help each other, so what do you expect? I mean, do you expect to be kind? Do you expect to be compassionate? Do you expect to be competent? Do you expect to be on time? Do you expect to be a pleasant human being? Do you expect to know what you're doing? I mean, there's 7 of them right there. What do you expect of yourself? Just as you, wandering through the day. If you can't get 3, that's okay. I don't want this to be a stressful morning. Just see what you can come up with. And when you're ready, then I want you to look at the second question. The second question asks you to put on a hat. Now you are a care provider. In whatever capacity you see yourself as a care provider, whether that's as a professional care provider, or perhaps you're providing care for someone that you know in your home, or in a family, or in a neighborhood, what do you expect of yourself in that capacity? What do you expect of yourself as a care provider? Now you get to have a label. Now you get to have a role as a care provider. What do you expect of yourself there? See if you can come up with 3, but see, at least 1. Most of us can get 1. What do you expect? Three expectations of yourself as a human being, and then some expectations of yourself as a care provider. And again, don't write long essays or sentences, maybe just a word or 2. When you're ready, then I want you to look at the third question. Now this one is a little bit harder. This one we haven't really thought about a lot. It asks you to think about and see if you could write down 3 expectations that you have of the people who receive your care. What do you expect of the people who are the recipients of your hard work? Now most of us say, well, wait, I don't expect anything, Darcy. You and I were trained and taught never to expect anything. But we're human beings, and human beings do have expectations. And it becomes really important that we take a couple of minutes to see if we could figure out and get a handle or even touch on what are some of my expectations of the people I'm trying to work with, the people I'm trying to help. What do you expect from them? Remember, expectation doesn't mean you're going to get it. And there's the difference. What do you expect, however? And we'll talk about that difference between what I expect and what I actually get in a minute. What do you expect of them? If you're not yet in a care providing role, perhaps you're anticipating that in your future.